What's up, everybody? We're gonna jam over these chords today. A minor to D7. I'm gonna do it with two pentatonic scales. See if you can identify which two pentatonic scales I'm using, all right? Here we go. All right, cool. Hopefully that mixes well and you can hear it. Yeah, happy Wednesday, everybody. Just sitting here drinking that last cup of coffee for the day and jamming on some tunes. It has a kind of a Santana vibe to it, right? That. All right, so the voicings I'm using, it's A minor 7, so 5, muted 5th string, and then 5, 5, 5 on those three. So you got the root, the flat 7, the flat 3, and the 5, right? Pretty cool. And then you just bring it down, it's a D9 that I'm playing. So you got, coming from the D string, you got 5, 4, 5, 5. And that's your root, 3rd, flat 7, and your 9. All right, and just kind of grooving. All right, so were you able to identify which pentatonics I was using? You probably got one of them right off the bat. A minor, right? So I'm probably using A minor pentatonic, right? Which I am. Now, for the D7, that won't really work, right? Because I'll be playing, if I play that to play over the D, the notes I'll be highlighting, I'll have the 5th, and that's fine, and I'll have the flat 7, and that's great because that's what you want on a dominant. I'll have the root, and I'll have the 9, which is fine. But here, that's the 4th, right? And that's not really gonna work. I'm almost playing like a D sus 7 there if I stick with that first shape where I play A minor all around the neck. So what we do is we flat that note. Instead of playing 5 on the D string, we're gonna play the 4th fret, and now we're playing the major 3rd, right? So now we're totally outlining a dominant 7, and it's called a dominant 7 pentatonic, right? So we get these are the frets. It's all the same except there. So we got 5, 8, 5, 7, 4, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7. There, that's the other place where that shift happens. Instead of playing 5, 8 like we would in an A minor, we're playing 5, 7. And on the bottom we get 5, 8 again. So it's these two notes that switch between the two chords to highlight the chord tones, which is cool. And it's super easy, right? Just one note. It's just one note that changes all around the neck. So there's different places where it happens, but all you have to do is kind of mess around with your pentatonics and you get the different shapes. So those are your money notes, like when you're jamming. Like if you're jamming A minor, you want to make sure you're highlighting that note, and then when you go to the D7, you know, and then back to the A. It sounds like that Spider-Man theme song that Joe Perry made there. But that's the idea. You know? And you can use this for like chord voicings too. Like if I wanted to like highlight it, do a counter rhythm. Here's your, you know, two notes from the minor pentatonic, so that's your 4 and your flat 7. You just drop it down like that, and now you got your 5, your root, your D, and you got your major third. Or even better yet, play these two from your A. That's your flat 7 and your flat 3, right? And that's your A minor. That makes it A minor. And then just drop this down. Now you got your 3, major 3, and your flat 7. So let's see how that sounds over it. Pretty cool. And you can bring that all around the neck. You know, like if you know where the 5 shapes of the pentatonic are, you can play that all over there. That's all A minor. And you're back at the first shape. And the same thing goes for the D dominant, right? So you have this shape. And you would just have to kind of figure out the rest. You know, you have this one. You have this one. I'm not going to get too into like what these are right now. Maybe I'll show you that one too. So you have 2 places to do it. So if you're playing A minor, right, and you're going to play here at like the 15th fret, you do the 5th shape, right? So you get the very symmetrical sort of shape. So that'll be, if I do it down here, it's easier. So because, you know, here's your first shape. 3, 5, 3, 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. Now your dominant is just going to be, basically how I think of this is the 4th shape of the pentatonic, and you're raising one thing up. If you're playing D major pentatonic here, you play the 4th shape. But since you don't want to play the major 6, you want to play the flat 7, you just move that up. And then here too. So that's 2, 5, 3, 5, 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 5, 2, 5. So that would be this. See if you can hear the chords change. I'll do A minor to D. Oh. All right, I can't help it with those pitch harmonics. So dominant pentatonic is something that you hear Nuno Bettencourt use a lot, which is great, and it has other uses too. If you superimpose it over other chords, and other, where it wouldn't go, like say D dominant over a different chord that's not D dominant, you can get cool like Lydian sounds and flat minor, minor 7 flat 5 sounds, cool stuff like that. So yeah, pretty neat. I'm just gonna jam on it for a sec until I think of something else I can tell you about it. Yeah, let me see if I can play it right here. I'll play it on the 12th fret. So it's the third shape of the A minor. That'd be something cool. Kind of a cool thing you can do at the end of a tune. So I was doing first shape here. Over the A, right? So, and then when it goes to D, and that's all you have to do is for the D, you just hit that note and people know it's the D. So and if you keep repeating that, your band's gonna go, oh yeah, and they're gonna get into the drummer might start picking up those hits. And then you can like get out of it in a way, like kind of maybe loop it. Something I would do is probably do it a couple times, You're looking at everybody like, oh yeah, how about this? And they're going, yeah. And then get out of it. I lost track of the bars, but cool, man. Yeah, if you like this sort of thing and you want to learn more about pentatonics, check out the pentatonicway.com. That's where all my courses are. I have group coaching every Monday night, and come for a pretty reasonable fee. Come hang, ask questions. We work on improvising. I have courses. I'm just super passionate about the pentatonic scale and kind of discovering for myself all the possible ways to use it, because for me, using it in the moment, like when you're in the heat of battle, right? Improvising, that's the only battle I've been in, is like when you're in the moment and the music's going and you have to compose on the spot and not just play licks you memorized. That's the heat of battle, right? Hopefully that's all the battle any of us ever see. God bless us, hopefully. The pentatonic scale is a way that I can see everything. It's a way I can like quickly pull up information, be like, oh, I can do this, boom, boom, boom. I'm not thinking about like giant keys. I'm thinking chord to chord. And if you want to, learn how to do that too, I got an amazing course. We go through it together, which is part of the thing, right? Like, when are you going to do that with a teacher online? Usually it's just like, good luck, here's the course. And I have that option too. But when we go through it together, everybody finishes the course. That's the thing. Usually online courses, it's like a 4% completion rate. With ours, it's like 80, everybody's there every week, or, at least watches it and submits and is a part of it and does the work. And that's all it is. Just got to do the work. If you're going to spend your time doing something, I recommend the pentatonic scale. You're going to get the most out of your time. You're going to be able to figure out the neck and the guitar and sound like a professional and have a way to, instead of being a maze, now it's a playground and you're just having fun and checking stuff out and see what it sounds like. Even if it doesn't sound like what you thought it would, it'll sound like something good, and then you can go, wow, that's just as good, and then you can kind of follow that path as the stones appear, right? The stepping stones appear. And isn't that true improvisation? Not just, regurgitation? Yeah, I like that. This is improvisation, not regurgitation. Anyway, it must be true because it rhymes. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks so much for watching if you made it this far, and I love you guys, and keep on picking. All right, take care. Bye-bye.